IVM.
Hey everybody, welcome to another awesome week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Paytm Money. So we had a really interesting week on the network. Definitely check out some of the shows that came out there. We had interesting episodes on Cyrus Says, Advertising is Dead, Filter Coffee Podcast, Glass Station Adulthood, Mr. and Mrs. Binge Watch, Besa Vesa. All of these shows had some really, really cool guests on, and there were some really good episodes out there. Do check them out. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. And with that, let's get you on with your show.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Positively Unlimited Podcast. Before I dive into this episode, I want to say a big thank you to every single person who has been messaging me and letting me know how these episodes are helping you, how you are finding the tools useful, and the shifts and changes that are coming about in yourself and in your life because of the episodes that I'm putting out. It really, really means a lot to me. Well, in a way, it's magical validation, it's reassurance, but more than either of those, it's extremely rewarding. So keep those messages coming. You can DM me on Instagram. My handle is Positivity Angel. So over the last few weeks, I've started a whole new series of A to Z. And today we are on the alphabet G. G is for grace. That's the word I'm talking about this time. What do I mean by grace? Well, it's a version of kindness. Maybe it's a little bit more than just kindness and compassion for me. It's one thing to make a mistake. It's another thing to apologize and ask for forgiveness. And it's a whole different thing for somebody to understand that you made a mistake and to forgive and let go. And today, in these times that we find ourselves, it is more important than ever to have grace towards each other. The grace to say, I mucked up, I'm sorry. The grace to say, it's okay, we'll figure it out. You know, grace is this softness within you. When I think about the word, I often think about dancers, how graceful they are. Or I'm reminded of some of my friends who, well, they're magic in the kitchen, but they also will serve out a meal with such grace. They will treat you with such grace. So I want you to think about one person in your life right now. Someone that you know, it can be an older person, a younger person, doesn't matter, who does things with grace. And I want you to think about what are the actions that they take. How do they do things? How do they speak? How do they respond? Which makes you describe them as graceful or as full of grace. We're all tied together, living in close proximity, lots of us stuck in the house, in each other's face all the time. Well, now is the time to be compassionate and to be kind to each other. But now is also the time to be understanding. And grace stems from that. So when you find someone doing something that is irritating you, ask yourself, is it because I'm low on fuel? I need to take time out. Is this becoming too much for me? Or then is it because this is something that this person does every single time? And if your answer is that it is you who is today at the edge and needs a little bit of time out, then be gracious enough to admit that and to say it and to pull yourself back. Grace is about how you are treating yourself and others. So when you realize that you are on tenterhooks, don't push yourself. Don't force yourself to do more. Be gracious enough to sit back down and take a moment off. Be gracious enough to your own self to have that cup of coffee without any interference. Think about this today. This week, practice having grace, practice being gracious, practice being graceful. Everything that you do today if you bring in a little bit of grace into it, you will experience moments of love and joy. You will experience moments of bliss. There's one more angle of grace that I want to talk about. And a lot of us may mistake it for gratitude. But it's not just about gratitude. It's also about, making the most of what we've been given. The grace of the universe, the grace of our parents, our family, the grace of our own ability to be living the kind of life that we are living in these lockdown times. In religious things, they say the Lord's grace is upon us. Well, I'm breaking that sentence down into many different layers. Yes, it may be on one level, God's grace that is upon us, that we are safe, we are healthy, our family is safe and healthy. It is the grace of our parents that they worked hard and they have built a home that is safe and healthy for us to be in. It is the grace of our own beings and our own abilities to be having the kind of jobs that we have and having worked as hard as we have to build the lives that we have built and we are living. So it's not just about getting up and saying, we must be thankful, we must be thankful. That is not enough. If we are going to say we must be thankful on one side, but then be irritated and keep snapping at people or be whiny and keep complaining about this lockdown on the other side, then are we really being gracious about all that we have? So grace is gratitude plus plus. And that is what I'd like you to practice all of this week. Do what you can for yourself and for others. Take care of yourself and be thankful, but also make good use of everything that you have today with you. This week is all about practicing grace. Gracefully, graciously saying, it's okay, don't worry about it. Gracefully, graciously saying, you know what, I'm not feeling okay today. That's why I'm behaving like this. Gracefully, graciously saying, I have enough, I can help you. Let me. That is what this week is about. So on that note, I'm going to sign off today. And I hope that this word grace is something that you carry with you even into the world that we will step into after this lockdown. I hope that you make grace a way of being, a way of doing things, a way of thinking and a way of feeling. Let me tell you this, I've been practicing it for a while and it's not easy, but it is very, very, very rewarding. So on that note, signing off and reminding all of you that all previous episodes are available on the IVM app and the IVM website. They're also available on all other platforms. And if at any point you are not feeling too good, make sure you sign into last week's episode, which was all about FOMO. I did get a lot of responses about that episode telling me how it was so bang on. So do listen to the episodes. Do let me know which one is your favorite and which one worked the best for you. Every episode has certain tools in it, certain perspectives in it, a mindset in it. But just listening to the episode is one thing. Listening to it and implementing these mindsets and these tools is another thing. So let me know how that goes. You can reach me on Instagram. My handle is Positivity Angel. Oh, and yes, before I go, to let everyone know that the Positive Action Journal is now a printed copy in my hands. And if anyone wants to purchase a copy, you can do so on my Instagram. The link is in my bio. So on that note, I will catch you next week.
Hi, I'm Satyajit.
Hi, I'm Racheta.
We are from the Open Library Project and we host a podcast called Paperback.
Paperback is a podcast where we engage with stalwarts and experts from various industries, suggesting non-fiction titles that contributed to their journey in a big way.
We've had guests like Anjali Rana, Dr. Marcus Rani, Dr. Swati Lodha, Ambi Parmeswaran, Apurva Damani, and many more on our show Paperback. Find new episodes every Wednesday on IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Entertainment is like food for the brain. It's a window to culture and a great way to understand the world around us. The internet has changed what it means to be an entertainer, creating new storytellers with millions of fans. It has spawned a new breed, the story sellers, those behind the scenes creating the business for this ecosystem. They work with brands, platforms and channels who are keen to capitalize on an audience hungrier than ever for more stories. I'm Vineet Kanabar, and I have a ringside view to how stories are told and sold. On my show, I bring you creators, artists, executives and marketers for a freewheeling conversation around the business of entertainment. Tune in to Storytellers and Story Sellers for personal stories, analysis and criticism every Thursdays as I talk to the brightest minds telling or selling great stories today.